Hello, everybody. It's Jazzy of Video Store Sasquatch here, and it is Throwback Thursday. It is actually Thursday night. I just watched Total Recall. I'm doing these videos after kind of watching the movies on the day, just because it's a little bit easier to edit, a little bit easier to get everything done than doing like 7 straight 3-minute videos talking about these movies. And plus, it makes them a little bit shorter at the long end, because then I just kind of realize what we're doing here. So everything kind of works out for everybody here. And then on top of that, we're going to talk about the box office for this weekend, and we will have maybe some news that comes up throughout the week that will be involved in this one. So I just watched Total Recall, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside, and Rachel Ticotin. When a man goes into a virtual vacation memories of the planet Mars, the planet in his mind, an unexpected add harrowing series of events forces him to go to a planet for real, or is he? June 1st, 1990, it had a budget of $65 million, had an opening of $25.5 million, it had a gross net total of $261.3 million. This movie was a hit. This movie was an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle. It ended up being remade by Colin Farrell, Jessica Biel, and a couple other people. And the remake actually is not that bad, but this one is the classic. It has the greatest lines. It has the head explosion at the end. There's so many good stuff about this movie. The woman with the three tits from Clerks is on this movie. It's a classic. It's sci-fi, just classic. It's just something that you have to watch if you're a sci-fi fan. We basically start with Arnold working in the mines, stuff like this, in like 2084, I believe. And after that, he decides to go on this vacation, and when he gets implanted, we don't know if he wakes up and the whole thing's his vacation or not. It's an interesting movie. It's a very good story. It's something that you should check out if you've never seen it. It is on Paramount Plus. It is one of the ones that is good. I mean, if I liked like sci-fi higher, I'd probably rank it higher on my top 10 list. But this is definitely a top 20 movie. I mean, any Arnold movie is probably top 20, top 25 to be honest with you for me. But this is all of it. So sci-fi action blockbuster. We get Arnold involved into it. He wasn't even supposed to be involved. Originally, it was going to be Patrick Swayze, but stuff will happen. And we get Arnold in here, and history has made it so. And that was Total Recall, directed by Paul Verhoeven. Hey, it's Friday night, and I just watched Last Action Hero, directed by John McTiernan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, F. Murray Abram, Art Caney, and Charles Dance. With the help of a magic ticket, a young movie fan is transported into the fictional world of his favorite action movie character. It came out June 18th, 1993, had a budget of $85 million, had an opening of $15.3 million, and a gross profit of $137.2 million. This is a good movie. This is an underrated Arnold movie. It is very meta and makes fun of a lot of the old 1980s action tropes. The kid in it is one of the best parts about it. And I remember having the action figures as a kid and like watching this movie like a whole lot of times. Thinking that'd be how cool it would be to be the kid to jump in and um, do that, like celebrate a movie that you like. His name was Austin O'Brien. The kid, I was looking it up on my IMDb. That's what I was doing there. But yeah, how cool would that be to be Daniel Bryan there, kind of going through an action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Even if it is just a movie, it would still be fun just to experience the process of making the movie. I love the one-liners; they're so cheesy. Honestly, I haven't seen this movie in so long, and it was so cool. It's such a flashback to watch this movie. We open up with the kid, and it's the second Slater movie, so we see how Slater's son dies in like the second one, just kind of fucked up, and then you kind of see him get robbed and go back, and then the old man gives him this golden ticket, and he crosses the line and eventually gets into the movie. And has to explain to him that he's an action movie, and when they're in an action movie, all the action cool stuff happens. And then when they're in the real world, it kind of slows down and it becomes more like a realistic thing. They even have a scene where the action hero, what was his name, Jack Slater meets Arnold Schwarzenegger in the premiere for the new 4-1, which the kid was previewing. This movie is, if you have not seen this movie, I suggest to watch it. I found it on Pluto. I had to watch commercials, and I still enjoyed it. And I hate watching the commercials and ads in these movies. So I did enjoy this movie, even with the ads. That is The Last Action Hero, directed by John McTiernan. Hello, it is Saturday night, and I just watched Eraser, directed by Chuck Russell, starring our man Arnold Schwarzenegger, Nessa Williams, James Caan, and James Coburn. I'm a witness protection specialist because suspicious of his coworkers when dealing with a case involving high-tech weapons. Came out June 21st, 1996. Had a budget of $100 million, had an opening gross of $24.5 million, and a total amount it made was $242.2 million. So we know this movie is a hit. We know it's a hit just because Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it, and it is from 1990. That is all we need to know. This movie is awesome. Um, it's not about all Arnold movies. All Arnold movies are awesome. They're all like in my top like 25 movies. To be like honest with you, especially the ones that we just watched with Terminator 2, uh, Total Recall, Commando. Like they're all right there. These are the action movies I love so much. I'm so glad I just love going back and watching them. This is one of the better ones too, with the like more like newer story with cool weaponry and just cool stuff that happens. And you get to see Arnold be Arnold and save the day. We start with the Italians taking over the snitch, and then we see Arnold come and save him, and he's like, "Hey, you can help me anytime you need me." Blah blah blah. It pays off later in the end, and then eventually we run into Vanessa Williams' character, and this is what the story is about. She goes in to her company, and she's about to whistleblow about foreign defense companies and their weaponry. That's the rail guns, stuff like this that they have in this movie that is like awesome. It's like a laser gun. It's really cool, really good explosions, really cool actions throughout this movie. Arnold has to save her after she gets discovered and she has to be put into witness protection. And then since she's dealing with, like I said before, like that, it's obvious that United States Marshals are in on like top brass United States Marshals, and all this is all involved into trying to catch her, and that is what this movie is about. It is an awesome movie. If you have not seen this is on Prime. I did have to rent it, um, so it is not available just to stream, but I'm sure it will be eventually because it's just so good and kind of just comes around. And it's a Warner Brothers movie, and we know that Max kind of circles through those pretty good, so I'm sure it'll be available on streaming eventually. And that one was The Eraser, directed by Chuck Russell. Hey, how's it going? It is Sunday night. Just finished Die Hard with a Vengeance, directed by John McTiernan, starring Bruce Willis, Jeremy Irons, Samuel L. Jackson, and Graham Greene. John McClane is forced out of his suspension to play a game, as Simon says, by terrorists who plan the bombs all around New York City and will detonate them if McClane doesn't do what he says. May 19th, 1995 is the release date and had a budget of $90 million with an opening of $22.1 million and a total gross of $366.1 million. This movie is awesome. It's one of my favorite Die Hards. Honestly, probably my favorite Die Hard, to be honest. It's one of the ones that they run around in the city instead of just like in a tower, and it's a lot more comedical with Samuel Jackson and a lot more action. Like I said, because they're running through the city trying to prevent bombs. A lot smarter villain too this time around with Jeremy Irons. Yeah, this is one of my favorites, and the only reason why we didn't put the other two Die Hards on is because I knew that those two were winter release dates around Christmas time. And I thought this one was a little bit later on into the summer, but it was right in the May release date, right before Labor Day. So, yeah, it's one of the one of the odd blockbusters that are kind of in between there. It's still good. We start with the bombing of the city, and then the guy is then they're in the police station or police precinct, and the guy calls the boss or commissioner, says he's only going to deal with John McClane, and they say he's on suspension. Then we meet John McClane, he's all haggard up and hung over because he's John McClane, and that's like the best part about these movies is how much he hates himself. Yeah, he just won't die no matter what for these people. So it's like a very interesting conflict there because he clearly wants to die in real life, but he just won't let them get the satisfaction of having him. And then they go in and start playing the game, as Simon says, which runs him into Samuel L. Jackson, who becomes his helper throughout this whole movie. This is not, if you haven't seen this is one definitely worth watching. It's on FX right now, I think, playing through the FX app and on demand. So something you should check out if you haven't seen it. Definitely worth watching. It's one of Bruce Willis's best, one of the best Die Hard. I think it's the best Die Hard, to be honest with you. But let me know what you guys think about what's the best Die Hard, in your opinion. That is Die Hard with a Vengeance, directed by John McTiernan. It is Monday, and I just watched Last Boy Scout, directed by Tony Scott, starring Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans, Chelsea Field, and Noble Willingham. A private detective's protected female witness is murdered, prompting him and the victim's boyfriend to investigate the crime, and leads to a corrupt politician and crooked football team owner. The girlfriend is Halle Berry, and the horror queen herself, Danielle Harris, is also in this. This movie is from December 13th, 1991. So this is also one of those rare movies that are on this list. I think there's like 5 of them. I've said it that it's rare, but there's like 5 of the 28. So I guess it's like a quarter of the movies on this list aren't exactly summer hits, even though I tried to make it as close as possible. This one came out in December. And this one is barely a hit. If it is, it has had a budget of $43 million with an opening of $7.9 million and a total gross of $53.5 million. I'm sure it caught a lot of its money back on the DVDs and stuff like this. With Damon Wayans in it and Bruce Willis. This was a good movie. This is just another one of those examples of Bruce Willis hating himself throughout the whole movie, and we kind of find a reason to like it. The Last Boy Scout, of course, stands for the fact that he is the one of the last people to have taken a shot for the president, and he is also a Boy Scout, is what they would call the Secret Service and stuff like this back in the day. This is a good movie. When the one guy finds out that what he did and how he had saved the president's life, he had to shake his hand, even though he just got done reaming him out for killing a bunch of people. It is the 90s. Somehow Bruce Willis gets away with killing like 3 people in this movie. He's not a cop. He's not a detective. He's just like a private detective. I guess he can claim self-defense, of course, on all these movies. I love how every time he gets into trouble, he has to start telling his jokes, and all of his jokes are very funny, especially the one about the wife that he tells. Just really good stuff here. The interaction with him and Daniel Harris is crazy. We basically open up here on the football game, of course, if you remember, and then the guy shoots the players. He's under so much pressure from gambling and other stuff like this of the problems he had. He shoots players, he shoots himself, and it's kind of like a red mark on the football league. It's not the NFL in this; it's just the football league. And during the football league, so then we move into later, like 2 years later. It's Damon Wayans at a party, and he throws a football at a dude's nose. We kind of learn that Damon Wayans is a kind of gambling, got in trouble for gambling, and he was like the last great player, and of course that he got completely ruined. And as we do this, we meet Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis meets his wife. We see his wife's cheating on him, and the private investigator cheating on him with gives him a job, which is Halle Berry. That's how everyone gets introduced here. Then from there on, we get the action and the carnage from all the chaos carnage from all the stuff that happens in this movie. Very good movie. If you have never seen it, I would check it out. And that is The Last Boy Scout, directed by Tony Scott. It is Tuesday night, and we watch Bad Boys, directed by Michael Bay, starring Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Lisa Boyle, and Michael Teleferro. 2 hip detectives protect a witness to a murder while investigating a case of stolen heroin from the evidence storage room from their police precinct. Came out April 7th, 1995, at a budget of $19 million, an opening of $15.5 million, which is actually pretty good, and a gross of $141.41 million. So it is very definitely a hit of hits. It's one of my. This is a pretty good movie. I love Will Smith. I love Martin Lawrence in this. Their chemistry in this is like undeniable. There's a reason why 30 years later they're still making Bad Boys movies. This one is just crazy how it all starts. Always crazy to go back and remember that it was just like a old school cocaine deal with like an old school like detective story where they had to protect T. Leone here from the mobsters, and then we get a bunch of good shootouts. We get them in a bunch of different areas, and we get introduced to the bad boys here. And then from then on, we know that this is where we're at. This movie is good. I had to rent it. Of course, the new one's still out on Netflix, I think. Watch all four of them. These movies are awesome. These movies are pretty much what action movies should be. They're like just straight up bullet rides, car chases, and shootouts, car chases, and just fancy cars and stuff like this. Great visual effects because it's in Miami. There's so much cool things about this, and just as like the story progresses, it add the characters and the depth of everything. It's so awesome. Definitely check this one out. That was Bad Boys, directed by Michael Bay. It is Wednesday, July 2nd, which is the 28th anniversary of this movie, which is crazy. I didn't think that I'd actually get a right date on this, but I did, and that is Men in Black, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, starring Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Linda Fiorentino, and Vincent D'Onofrio. James, a New York City cop, is hired by Agent K, a secret government agency that monitors extraterrestrial life on Earth. Together, they must recover an item that has been in an intergalactic villain. That has been by an intergalactic villain. Stolen by intergalactic villain. I forgot a word there. It had a budget of $90 million. Its opening weekend was $51 million, and its total profit was $589.3 million. This is a movie of movies. This is the first time Will Smith comes out with the soundtrack with the movies with Men in Black. This one is like the start of different comedy genres. I mean, really, this is like a Marvel movie because Men in Black is part of like the Marvel property, kind of, I believe, or maybe it's a DC property. I can't remember which one, but it's a comic book property, and it's all together with that. I love the story of how we get the old UFO, believe it or not, Ripley, believe it or not, and with Kay watching it, and David Cross is in it, and there's just so many good parts about this, all the aliens. There's just so many good stuff about this movie, and then you just kind of add on to Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3, and Men in Black 4. Even Men in Black International is pretty badass, in my opinion, with Chris Hemsworth. It's so fun. There's so many different stories you could have with this possibility, and that's why it's a blockbuster. I mean, it made what I said, 90 million. It made what 54, 6, 7 times its money back. Even if you did double the advertising for this, it's wild how much money this movie made. Under $100 million budget, so at 589. I think it was PG-13. So yeah, that kind of tracks with family movies. I love the beginning where we open up with going across the border in the truck, and then the border police kind of stop them. Then we find out that Kay is there, and Kay kind of stops the alien. Then we see Jay, after this scene, chase the terrestrial down, and that's how him and Kay get involved. And then from there on, it's just badassness. I love the little cricket gun. There's so much like just funny comedic stuff about this movie that's so good, and what Will Smith was good at. I wish we could get another one, just one more Men in Black, even if it's not with Tommy Lee Jones and someone else. Let's get one more Men in Black, Will Smith, before it's all said and done. That's what I'm looking forward to. And this one was Men in Black, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. And let's talk about the box office here real quick. We have the F1 movie coming in first with $72.6 million total gross of week one. That's probably worldwide. Hell of an opening for that movie. They've already decided that they're going to do sequels for it. I mean, it makes sense. It makes complete sense that they're going to do it because it's like the biggest movie Apple's ever had, and huge deal. How to Train Your Dragon still running strong with 19.6 million and 207.7 million dollars total. That's a lot of money. I'm sure that they are very happy with the results so far, 3 weeks in. And then we have Elio at 10.4 million second weekend at 46.2 million dollars altogether. And Megan 2.0, kind of a bomb here at 10.2 million, 12.9 million dollars. I'm sure at the back end of this will be the streaming service for that, and it'll be completely fine. And another thing here is our news, real quick, will be that Matt Reeves has officially finished Batman 2. So I was completely wrong. I must have read a different article, or I just read into James Gunn being James Gunn. We had the Batman 2 from Matt Reeves officially written. Let's see if we can get it now and past the point of written and into production here, and that'll be worth it. And I mean, I've already seen some of the early numbers for Spider or Superman, and it's I don't know if they're going to be happy. They're already predicting signing sour. I think the same thing for Fantastic Four. So it'll be an interesting next month here because it'll be an interesting month this month, and we will also be introducing our top 10 list. And just so you know, there will not be a horror movie night in the cave because it is the 4th of July, and there will not be um, a streaming Saturday this week because it is the 4th of July. But we will be going to see the Jurassic Rebirth movie. So I will be doing that review Sunday. Thank you guys very much for watching here and have a good rest of your day or night. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section. And see you next time in the cave.